channel. I just recently got back from a trip to Cancun, Mexico. I spent 7 days there and vlogged the entire thing. So this is a vlog of me in Cancun, ASMR style. I hope you enjoy. The first part of this vacation was extremely stressful for me. It was snowing so bad that when we got on the plane, we had to be de-iced, and it took an extra 2 hours to take off. I was sitting first class, so I got a meal. I ordered the French toast because it was an early flight. It was actually really, really yummy for airplane food. I've never flown first class before, but it was really enjoyable, and I would highly recommend it. After 5 hours of flying in the air, I landed in Cancun at the airport. It was amazing how beautiful and green everything was. I had to take a drive down the jungle to get to my destination. The next morning, I got up around 6 a.m. to watch the sunrise. I couldn't believe I was in Mexico at such a warm place because back home it was a snow blizzard. Cancun faces the east where the sun rises, so it's absolutely beautiful first thing in the morning. It was a pretty windy day the first day that I got there, but because it was so warm, the wind felt amazing. The ocean was just right outside of my room, and I could not believe it. I was so excited, I couldn't sleep. You could get up each morning and feel the peace in the air. It was probably one of my favorite parts of the trip, just seeing the waves and the sun coming up from the east. I remember after this moment, I went and laid in my bed and just looked out the window in awe at how beautiful the world is. I was so excited to start my trip. Once the sun started coming up, I headed down to the ocean. The waves were pretty big that day because it was windier than normal. You can tell by my hair right here. There's also a red flag behind me saying it's not safe to swim in the water because the waves were so big. The resort was massive. There's 3 full sections. I think over 7 restaurants and plenty of beach space to spend your day at the beautiful ocean. Every morning I would wake up and go walk along the ocean just to have my thoughts in a moment before I started my day of swimming and eating and vacation time. I loved seeing the turquoise water not too far out in the distance. It was so beautiful, and the water was actually very warm. So warm, in fact, I would swim in it every day. It was the perfect temperature. The pool was one of the main reasons I wanted to stay at this resort. It was an infinity pool, which I've never swam in before, ocean, which was absolutely stunning. There was plenty of places to lay out, and they had umbrellas for you as well. This is where I spent most of my time on my vacation. I would lay in a shallow part of the water and just relax in the sun. It was the happiest I've been in a long time, and I was just completely at peace. The water, surprisingly, was colder than the ocean. It was so clear and pure, but it was a lot colder than the ocean. At least it felt that way. It was actually perfect though, because when you would get hot from laying out in the sun, jumping in this pool solved all your problems. It felt absolutely perfect. I loved the way the sun reflected off of the water, and this pool was so detailed with little tiles all through it. There was actually several swimming pools at this resort. This was just one of them that I would stay at for most of the day. I loved just relaxing and being in water. I wonder if it's because I'm a Pisces. LOL. The breeze continued throughout the week, but it was so subtle and made it such a perfect temperature outside. I loved watching the palm trees, sitting on a chair, and just enjoying my time. The sky was beautiful. It was so nice to see the blue sky, because where I live right now, it's so gloomy. You don't get to see the blue sky very much. So I enjoyed that so much. There was a lot of birds too. This was the adult pool. They had those day beds. They're the white ones you could reserve. My favorite thing is how they put tanning beds or day beds or chairs over the water where you can lay back and relax, drink your drinks, and enjoy your time. I thought this was the coolest thing ever, so I spent a lot of time here as well. I loved being able to see, oh, that guy just fell in the water. I got that on film. LOL. I would drink a lot of Coca-Cola Light, which was such a heaven for me. They have Coca-Cola Light in Mexico instead of Diet Coke, and it tastes like Coca-Cola. It's insane to me. As the sun began to set, I would go back down to the beach and enjoy the last hour of sun. I feel like the water was even warmer as the day went on, because the sun would heat it up. I would take times running through the waves. It was so fun. I felt free. The sun set by the jungle on the west side of the resort. It was stunning. And by the pools, it would start turning dark blue out as the sun went away. It was time for dinner. This night, we sat out under the sky and ate at a little restaurant. It was buffet style and the food was amazing. They had all sorts of different types of food, really anything this world. As the sun went away, the warm lighting came out, and it was such a beautiful view. The perfect lighting for dinner time, I think. They also had people performing and singing for us while we had our dinner. It was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Just being outside, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world. If I could just be outside all the time, I think I would. The people who sang were amazing and so talented. They would dance and play some really fun music. It brought such a good energy to the restaurant. I loved just standing there and watching them perform. The resort at night was my favorite because it was such a beautiful vibe. The lighting was just a perfect mood. And the stars would start to come out. And I was so excited for that too. He brought me over a blue cotton candy for a treat that was absolutely delicious. After I was done eating and enjoying the sky and the nighttime vibes, I went back to my room. This was the room that I got. I originally booked a king bedroom, but it wasn't ready when I arrived, so they upgraded me to an ocean view room with 2 queen beds, which I was completely okay with because I wanted an ocean view room anyway. There were 2 queen beds, and this was a luxury modern style room, I would say. The TV was an amazing size. The shower was modern and had the waterfall spout, which I loved. It was a good sized shower, lots of room. All of the walls in the bathroom were glass, so you could see in through the room into the bathroom, which was very interesting. See how you can see in the bathroom. It was a very unique thing. I've never seen that before, but I loved it. I thought it was a really cool modern touch to the room. I wondered if there was a way to cover it up, but I couldn't figure it out. They also had a mini bar for us. They restocked drinks every night. Water, Coca-Cola, Sprite, mango juice. Every day there was something new in there. When you opened up the door to the outside, there was a balcony with 2 chairs facing the ocean. I spent every night sitting out here, having good conversations, thinking about life, and just relaxing and listening to the breeze. That night, there were shows too. This was the Michael Jackson show. They had incredible dancers that would dance and entertain you for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It was a pretty good show. It was fun to go and just enjoy yourself. And a lot of people actually ended up going each night, which I thought was awesome. After the show, we went to a fine dining experience. It was such an amazing night. We got yummy drinks and appetizers and just sat back and relaxed and had This was roasted peaches with some type of meat and cheese. And this was a mozzarella tomato appetizer. They both were out of this world. I ate both of them because I thought they were so yummy. That was the Alfredo, and I got a pesto shrimp pizza. This was probably the best pizza I've ever tasted in my life. I love shrimp so much. So I thought it was absolutely amazing. The drinks they made us were so good too. Super limey and sweet. And it was the perfect combination with the pizza. Look at how cheesy the pizza was. It was steaming hot, came straight out of the oven. I think it was a fire or a wood burning stove that created the pizza. I can't remember how they cooked it. But I was in heaven. Cheese is so yummy too. This is making me hungry just watching this back. I stayed at dinner for about an hour or two, just eating, talking, and enjoying my night. I started goofing off a little bit, thinking I'm funny. I'm kind of a dork. It was a great night. The next day, I started my day with a water dancing class. There were 3 instructors up at the top of the pool, and they would show us the dance moves to do. I feel like I was with a lot of older people who liked it, which I thought was so funny. But I enjoyed this so much, I think I did it 3 days in a row. Maybe only 2. I think I have some of the dances still memorized. It was a great way to start moving and get some energy out after all the food that I ate the day before. It was fun to splash around in the water and just vibe, escape reality, and just laugh and have a good time. They ended the exercise with stretching. I didn't realize how I was so unflexible. I haven't stretched in a long time. These blue drinks that I got were so yummy. Anything with a lime just makes me so happy. Especially when it was so hot outside. It was the perfect thing to cool me off. This is what I did most of the rest of the day. Just laid back, relaxed, got some sun, felt the warmth on my skin, and had nice cold drinks to cool me off from time to time. This day I went back to the ocean. The waves weren't as strong as the few days before, so it was fun to actually get in and swim. The jungle's absolutely beautiful in Mexico. So much green. I was in love with it. That night, I got a salad that was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite salad I've ever had, but it was delicious. And for dinner, early because I was going on an adventure to swim with sea turtles and go to the underground caves where there's fresh, natural water that you can swim in. On this car ride, we all drove on a dirt road for about 15 minutes each way to get to our destination. This was me with the snorkeling gear on. I thought I looked funny, so I filmed this video. But I was super excited to swim with the sea turtles. Unfortunately, I didn't film it, but it was a great experience. We saw 4 big sea turtles and 1 baby sea turtle in the ocean. They were so amazing and cool to see. This day, I drove around a lot. From Cancun all the way to Tulum, back up to Akumal. But at the end of the day, they dropped me off at a private beach with hammocks, fed me some tacos, and it was the perfect way to end the day. I just relaxed in the hammock. It was super, super fun to hammock by the ocean. I've never done that before. This is what the beach looked like. I got a day bed that I got to use and just relax by the ocean. I laid there for about an hour underneath the umbrella, just enjoying the nice weather and the ocean. This was probably one of my favorite days in Mexico. I thought it was super fun and a great adventure. Once we got back, I showered and dressed up a little bit nicer. This was me dancing, thinking I'm funny, getting some energy out because it was such a long day in the car. That night, the resort dressed up the pool area to have a neon dance party. So I went down to check it out and see what it had to offer. They also had a DJ and performers where you could go and dance. It was a super fun environment, and I've never done something like that before. It was right by the pool, so it was super, super cool. I had a lot of energy, like I said, because we spent about 6 hours or more in a car that day. I don't know why I was so hyper, but I was having a good time. Later that night, I went to a fancy steakhouse dinner with the open fire grill. I ordered the pork chop, and they sat us outside, which I loved. This was the Caesar salad. It was the best Caesar salad I've ever tasted in my life. We also got a steak, which was delicious, and this was my pork chop. Best food ever. The next day, I didn't film until lunch, so I got a massive hamburger, and when I tell you this was the best hamburger I've ever had in my life, I genuinely mean it. I don't know why, but it was so yummy. Right here attacks me and starts eating my french fries and hot dog. There was about 10 birds that came over and attacked me. It was the scariest moment of my life. I threw away my food and went and got pad thai for lunch instead because the birds ate all of my food. This restaurant was right by the ocean, and this is me thinking I'm funny swimming in the beach. They had these showers that you could use to wipe the sand off of your feet. It was really convenient so that you didn't have to have sand all over you. I filmed a cool slow-mo shot of the water falling with the ocean in the background. I just thought it was a cool video, so I thought I'd include it in this vlog. This day was perfect outside. There was barely even a breeze, and the sky was absolutely beautiful. The ocean was the perfect temperature as well. Later that day, I thought it'd be fun to go run around in the splash pad area. I even went down the slide like a weirdo. See how perfect the waves were that day? They were so perfect. They weren't too big, but they were just big enough that it made it fun. The fresh fruit that they give you at this resort is amazing. The mango was so fresh. That night, we went to another show. It was Aladdin. The cast was amazing, and the guy who played the genie did such a good job. I would love to go back and watch it again. This was the last day at the resort, so I spent a lot of the time walking up and down the ocean because I don't know when I'm going to be able to see it again. This day, I walked probably an extra mile or two along the coast, all the way to this flag that we found. Once we got back from our walk, I was so hot. I had to jump in the water to cool off, and it was so perfect. It felt absolutely amazing. Because it was my last day, I went down the slide one more time. Hopped on the plane. Had about a 5-hour plane ride home. And the main reason why I was excited to go home was to see my cats, because it's been over 7 days and I missed them. The plane ride was mostly smooth, and I got home safe and sound, which was amazing. The second I got home, I cuddled one of my cats and went to bed. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog, and I will see you guys in my next